Right, Doug. So, I did do this on my phone, but the app on the phone is not very good. You can't slow it down or anything. So, we're gonna, I'm gonna do this again, and it's gonna be a lot better for you. So, let's watch it all the way through. So you're paddling through, popping up, little cuddy there, hand in the wave to help you turn. Boom, 1, 2, and away. So, what I want you to do, have a look at your hop up first. So let's go slow-mo. Fast. Let's go even slower. Let's break the paddling down. Hands are very wide there, so you're coming out and then you're bringing your hand in. Ideally, as you paddle, bring your elbow out the water first. So if you watch some swimming videos, what they teach you, and you can use this bit for surfing as well to make it more efficient. Look at John, look at Kelly. When they're paddling like a sprint paddle, it's elbow first, the fingers just trickle along the top of the water, and then they come in almost thumb first and then pull back just along the rail of the board. So you're paddling, you got some kicks, and then you've gone into your pop up there. So I can't zoom in here, I think, but your hands are quite close to sort of like the rail of the board. You're going to bring them in underneath your chest and shoulders, okay? That will help you control the board a lot more, stabilize it through the pop up, and if needs be, either keep it straight, so you're dropping straight down the face of the wave, or if it's a faster wave, you can then angle your takeoff and away you go. So notice your feet position as you pop up. Now you got a really fast pop, just want you to know that. Here, look at your position there. So if we have a look, hang on, that's not the one, that's it. So your right foot is on the rail of the board. Okay, you're within a couple of inches of the rail, which is going to make it hard work. You're going to send the board off balance. Your back foot appears to be in the right position, but where's your head looking? So at the moment, you're going that way. Okay, let's give this a bit of a brighter colour here. So you're looking down here. In fact, you're actually looking at about that point on the wave. When you pop up, you actually want to be looking this way. Okay, you can see what the shape of the wave's doing, and that's going to help you line up what you're going to do. Now, we know this wave looks to be the advanced setting, so you've got time, as we saw you done that cutback, you've got time before it walls up. So if you look at the curvature of the wave, right now, it's coming down, and then, oh, hang on, you've got, there we go, I was never very good with paint. You've got that little curvature there, okay? So it's steepish, but as you get over here, you can see there's more of a wedge just there. So as you show us, when it starts going, so right now, again, really you want to be looking down here at where you need to be going next. Your weight is right on the tail of that board. That's a bit of a disadvantage to start off with, because you can see the nose of the board is up. You're stalling. What you want to do, get that speed here for two reasons. One, you naturally speed up, you get the weight on the front, and it's easier to get the board on rail, which is what you're going to want to do in a moment. But two, by stomping down like you're dropping in on a half pipe, you're going to get so much speed. So dropping down here, okay, so you'll end up doing your bottom turn, around here, which is then, so you come down, bottom turn here, and if you get on rail with that speed by having the weight on the front foot more, that's going to fire you up to here, okay, around there. When the reason we say to drop straight down, unless that wave's going to close out, if you've got the time, you want to be utilizing the power zones in the wave. So this section above that line is the top zone, the top of the wave, the top power zone, okay? So obviously you can see that the power's coming from there because that's throwing the lip across. That's how it's breaking. So that's where the maximum output of energy is from the wave. Down here, and you can just about see that in the color of the water, is the trough or the bottom power zone, okay? So that's where you drive off the bottom, utilize that speed, because what direction is the water going? It's going up, okay? Think of it like an escalator. If you've got someone that just runs up a escalator that's turned off, like a flat one, for example, carpet escalator is turned off, they're running up. They are going uphill, but they're putting all the effort in. You're probably going to have someone not too far behind them that's standing still with the escalator turned on. So they're going to be going at a smooth pace. Now, if you combine the both and you run up an escalator that's turned on, you're going to fire up there like you won't believe. Same with surfing. Drive off the bottom and then come up, and that's going to fire you up. So as you do your bottom turn, so let's see where you're at with that. Come down. Right now, you need to compress. Get low. So you kind of done it there, but you could get lower. So your front hand can almost get into the water. Okay, so if you got lower, your front hand will be in that water there. Okay, so you want to bring your front hand kind of by the rail of the board, so it's almost in the water, or by your foot. Your back hand right now is kind of where it wants to be. So you're coiling up. You're going to use that back hand in a minute as leverage to fire you up. So let's look at where you are and where your board is. So you started coming up already, but the nose of your board is sort of pointing this direction. You could get away with having it pointing up here, because if you have a look here, okay, you can see you got that little curve, okay? Where's my arrow's gone? So just this little section here, mate. That is where the wave has got most power. It's about to throw over. So going back to the beginning with the weight on the front of the board coming firing down, get lower through the bottom turn. I'm pointing at the screen, you can't see. Coming straight down, driving off the bottom here, get right on rail, because bear in mind you're probably going to be going twice as fast. Fire up, you can hit that section there. That's going to throw power underneath your board and push you back out towards the flats, okay? So just that maneuver itself, because of the timing and the position, is going to generate you more speed. Again, escalator effect, except you're going the other way now. And that's going to line you up for the rest. So let's drop it to normal slow-mo. So with the cutback, you come up, you're in a nice position there. So you're in that top power zone. But at this point, you're looking over here, but you're not going that way. At this point here, you want to be starting to look around here. So that then, as that board wraps round, you want to be looking where you're going. You want to be looking up here at the pocket of the wave, okay? Because what that'll do is actually, so say you're here, that's going to fire you across up in to this section here, again, that's where the wave's breaking. That's where the power is. That's where the free energy is for you. Okay? It almost turns it into driving an automatic from a manual, if that makes sense. So we carry on. So if you have a look there, the midline of the wave is there, right? Roughly. Your board is under that midline. So you've only got this bottom power zone to work with. When you cut back, if you can sort of come round, do your cut back and get up into here. So by looking back at the curl, that's going to get you higher up the wave when you do your cutback. So if you land back here, suddenly you're dropping in again and we go back to the beginning. And you've got all this power here, drive off the bottom, up and again. So I'm pointing at the screen, you can't see that again. You'll be doing your next maneuver off this bit. You can see straight away that round here, it's about to break. So if you come flying back out your cutback, drive off the bottom, round here, bang. That bit's there to help you fly, all right? So let's go on to the next section. Again, mid-face, but you drive down, nice, you compress in. Again, more decompression. So stand up a little bit more here, de-weight the board. As you get to this section here, compress very slightly so that when you get to there, you can decompress again, but you'd have got more power out of this section here. You got a little bit of spray there now. If you'd have driven from here off the bottom with more speed, I'm not lying, the spray would have been going up here, buddy. You've got the potential there for it. So next up, compress, get lower. So you're on that there, was quite nice. That's just there. You are semi on rail. You can then, nice potential there. As the nose went in there a little bit, and that is what I think sent you off. So when you finish a maneuver like that, if you, let's just go back. Yeah, see, it's all about weight placement. As you're coming off of the maneuver, a little bit of weight over the back foot. Okay, keep that nose up because you can just see it hasn't gone in a lot, but it's enough to just sort of send you over the falls. I mean, that there could be a profile picture if you really want. But yeah, so like I say, that's not too bad. So let's watch the whole thing and I'll just talk you through it quick. So elbows high with the paddling, feet together, hands together underneath your chest, not quite together but under the shoulder. As you pop, make sure you're looking along the wave, and then a bit more weight on the front foot earlier on. Drive off the bottom and get that board on rail. And then as you come through your cutback, remember, look right up into this. This is a magic spot. This is where that happens, okay? And then you'd have been coming out that turn with more speed, driving off, and you'd have had a bigger turn there, and then you'd have actually done another turn here, because that wouldn't have happened because you'd have had more speed. But like I say, you've really got the foundations there to get some really good maneuvers in. And you've got the eye for it, you can see that. It's just really tweaking them. So I would probably keep this fresh in your head, go to the wave again, get someone to film you, have a session in the morning, have a break, go through the footage, have another session in the afternoon. So what I'll do is I'll save this one and then we're going to review your other video.